I'm Joe Nicholson. I'm the game warden for Game Management Unit 391 and 39. They're part of the Mount Evans elk herd. Game Management Unit 391 is going to be located directly west of the metro area. That unit is entirely private lands and then public lands that are managed by county open space parks. For the most part, there's no public hunting on public lands in that unit. I really highly suggest that any hunters that are looking at that unit talk to private landowners and get access to private lands before they even apply for a license or go and purchase a license. We have pretty good elk numbers in the unit. Deer numbers are actually quite good. Buck to doe ratios are high. We do have a higher prevalence rate in chronic wasting disease there, so I always recommend that hunters get their elk or deer tested for CWD if they harvest an animal. Moving further west, Unit 39 basically runs from the middle of the town of Evergreen west up to Mount Evans, and then it continues west to the Continental Divide. The eastern portion of Unit 39, again, is largely private land. We have a pretty large resident herd that stay in that eastern portion of Unit 39, and then they'll spill over into 391. The eastern portions of Unit 39, again, largely private land. It's one of those areas that it's a good idea to talk to landowners prior to buying a license if you're interested in it. Moving further west, there's quite a bit of public land, primarily managed by the U.S. Forest Service, and then a couple of state wildlife areas that our agency, Colorado Parks and Wildlife, manages. Primarily, the western areas of 39 are good early season hunts. So your archery season, muzzleloader season, first rifle season in particular, there can actually be some pretty darn good elk hunting. You know, our bull to cow ratios are fairly high. The unit does produce a little bit larger bulls because it is a limited unit. It's not an over-the-counter unit. You know, generally speaking, on the west side of the unit, the best way to find elk, because of the amount of recreation in this unit, is to look for basins and drainages where there's not recreational trails. What I'll notice consistently is that the number of recreational trails and some of the drainages on Forest Service property on the west end of the unit attract a lot of recreationists from the metro area. People hiking, walking dogs, riding mountain bikes. And you'll notice that those drainages, elk in particular, but deer as well, will tend to avoid, and they'll use neighboring drainages without trails as kind of a refuge area. And early season hunters that are willing to hoof it into the backcountry and really focus on those drainages without trails will find the most success in the unit. So hunting, you know, archery season, muzzleloader, first rifle season, hunting near timberline tends to be the best on public land in Unit 39. As we start to get some weather and elk begin to migrate a little bit, and it can really be weather dependent, you'll begin to find elk a little bit further east. You know, some of the country closer to maybe Springs. We'll start to see more elk move into there. Again, it's going to be kind of weather dependent, but a lot of times by those same principles as with the recreation trails. Any place you're getting at least a half a mile or more off the road, you're really increasing your likelihood of finding an elk. So I really encourage folks, park your four-wheeler, park your truck, and take off and hoof it and put it on the ground. And then I suppose one other thing is just pre-season scouting is really important to being successful in the unit. Every year I'll have hunters that draw licenses, and they don't step foot in the unit until their hunting season starts, and doing so really puts you at a disadvantage for being successful. So take some time in the summer, take a backpack, take your family, and go up and do some hiking and learn the unit. Take your binoculars and a camera and yourself, and it'll make you a lot more successful.